Greetings. Tonight's story comes to us from Corona, Queens, aptly titled Smells Like Teen Spirit. It's a story of 5 teenage boys who hung out at Roger's apartment, mainly because of the free space, food in the fridge, and cable TV. This is a little bit back in the day. One hot, steamy August afternoon, the 5 of us decided to hang back at my apartment. It was a safe haven, a place we can chill and relax. Felt like 120 outside in the shade. So back at my place, we did the usual thing. Talked about sports, raided the fridge, and debated non-stop about what movie we're going to order to watch. We were all a bit of horror hounds and gamers. After rounds and rounds of video games, it grew tired and weary. The only problem about my apartment was that there was no air conditioning. We had one ceiling fan and some open windows. That's about it. We had some heavy, dark red curtains. So, as we decided what movie to rent, it boiled down to the mockumentary about death titled Faces of Death, and some nameless B horror movie I can't even remember. Somehow, a debate sparked between Lando and Omar. It was concerning the existence of evil. Does it really exist? How can we prove it? Is there an afterlife? Are there really angels and demons? Now, all of us were brought up strict Catholics. But as time goes on, especially with a bunch of knucklehead boys, the proof is in the pudding. Seeing is believing. Now, the events become sketchy as far as why and what happened next. But it all circles back to Dom. Dom was a very flamboyant and beat-chested type of individual. More than anything, Dom loved to pour gasoline on a fire. So Dom cleared the coffee table, dumping all the sandwich wrappings, crumbs, and whatnot onto the area rug. But he unfolded one sandwich wrapping, wax paper, probably because it was the least stained of the rest. He discovered a red crayon that's been hiding underneath the couch for God knows how long, and proceeded to write a series of letters and numbers and rows, and a yes and a no. It quickly became apparent that Dom was creating his own handwritten Ouija board. I protested. Years back, my father had come home weeping, crying. He wasn't the type of person to do that. He was very stoic. He was not a man to show his emotions. And he went straight into his room. Well, my mother followed. And there was a murmur and a hush. I slowly crept my way in because I felt there was something wrong here. When I cracked open the door, I was met with sobbing eyes. My mother gestured for me to come forward. slowly and cautiously entered the room as they told me that my grandfather had passed. I was a young boy at the time, and I looked at the corner of the room and I said, no, he didn't pass. He's right there. The retracted eyeballs, the pause in breathing, and the collective gasp never left my memory. From that day forward, I always felt that there was an afterlife, and I respected that. Dom, however, didn't. Dom took out a quarter and moved it about on the table as though it were the pointer from a Ouija board, asking all sorts of questions that anyone would be uneasy about. In many of his questions, he almost dared the evil entities to prove their existence. He bordered on insulting, and then he went right past it. Tom, flat out, denied the existence of any evil forces, devils, demons, Satan. And in a hush, in a snap of the fingers, the sunlit room turned dark without a cloud in the sky. The blinds fell, and then the curtains got sucked out through the windows. Pencils, tchotchkes, picture frames started to swirl about into the room. We ducked for cover, most of us petrified in silence, but the majority of us crying out, "What in God's name, Dom, did you do? Stop this." We begged for God for intervention and prayed to all the angels and saints to save us from that which we have not understood or respected. Finally, silence ensued, and the debris and the swirling materials stopped. We peeked outside cautiously through the window, and there was an old man underneath the drapes and curtains that had been sucked out of the window. I rushed down as quick as I could. I could not recall the beating of my own heart. As I reached the first floor, I saw a crowd gathering to see if the old man was okay. As I inched my way forward, I realized that old man was Dom's dad. From that day forward, I warn everybody, dare not dabble in that you do not know. This has been a horror tale brought to you by the Dead Air Dudes. Sleep well.